good day to all of our friends in Brunswick, Topsom, Hopsville, and Bodenham.
Bodenham.
And throw that in there.
And Bowden.
And Bowden. Oh, Bowden too. I'm Frank Connors from People Plus. One more time.
Yay.
And, two more times.
Still.
It's still. And with me, of course, is my sidekick, my boss.
Yeah, you know.
Stacy Frizzle, our executive director. And here we go for June. It's summer in Maine.
Really?
Is it really?
Yeah, it was like 45 degrees this morning.
Yeah, it's
summer
crazy.
In Maine.
It's crazy.
It'll be 90 later.
Wasn't much of a spring, and we're just hopeful now for the summer. I did go swimming on Memorial Day.
Where?
In my pool. We have
nice.
a pool at our house.
Nice.
And it's a little bit of shady green.
We had a conversation about jumping in the pond.
Yeah.
And we were kind of going to, because Memorial Day, we were home planting, and it was really sunny.
Yeah.
And then at like 4 o'clock, it clouded up again.
Yeah, it was awful.
And so we were thinking, all right, we'll finish the day, we'll get all our planting done, and then it'll be hot, and we can plunge in the pond.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it just got cloudy. And
we just uncovered our pool, and we just, everything was just kind of laying there because it's rainy and cold. But I looked at Miles and I said, hey, it's Memorial Day. Somebody's got to go in. And he said, you're the pool fool,
by
Dad.
all means.
So,
have at it.
But by 5 minutes later, I had 3 grand boys and some friends in there, and we were having a good time. So.
How long did you stay in the pool?
Not too long. Just did a couple of quick laps and
said that you did it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
cold,
so
probably,
now it's
huh?
summer.
How cold do you think your pool is?
I think it was just about 60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's chilly.
So.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll warm up a little bit.
The pool at the Y, they keep around 64.
Do they?
For laps, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's cool, but 60 is doable.
Invigorating.
It is.
Stimulating.
Definitely, yeah. So our pond is a little cooler than that. The surface actually was getting warmer.
Yeah.
But man, it's about 12 feet deep. And
still a little ice down at the bottom.
Yeah,
maybe.
That's what it feels like. Yeah, exactly.
You bet.
You definitely has pockets that feels like one is like thermal heat and thermal, and then frigid cold. So anyway, it's been a slow spring kind of getting started. A lot of our growth is like a week to 2 behind.
Yeah.
Where it was last year, because Jonathan keeps
lilacs just barely budded at Memorial Day.
Lilacs. That's the bush I was trying to think of the name of in the car coming down.
Sure.
How they get to be like 30 feet tall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of the lilacs are
But it'll catch up. It's going to get warm. It's going to be beautiful. We'll have 3 more days of summer, and then
hopefully 6 days.
We'll get going on fall.
Yeah, because we're looking at June, and June is always a nice month at the center, because sometimes it does get hot and sticky out, and people still want to come and do activities. Yep. And then we're looking at planning July. We have a big party coming up in July, that we'll talk about, and May was lovely at the center. We had a lot of really good activities, so that was great. April is so exhausting for all of us at the center. Jill and I are kind of like toast for a good couple of weeks. The first couple of weeks of May.
The gelato fiasco.
After Music in April. And then I had a big trip.
Yeah.
And then gelato fiasco. Yeah, it's a lot of work to pull together those fundraisers.
It is.
And
but they all went extremely well.
They both went very, very well. We set records for both of them.
Sure.
So, we would be remiss if we didn't send out one more big shout out thank you to everyone that sponsored Music in April and Gelato Fiasco, everyone that attended those 2 events. Between the 2 events that raise funds for our senior programming and our youth programming, we had something like 1,500 people involved. So, it's amazing how many people, are get engaged, enjoy the event, participate, contribute, volunteer their time. It's so much. Yeah. And we're just really appreciative. People Plus really is a community center.
It is.
And it takes the whole community to help us keep it going.
It's one thing when you show up for an event or you show up for an exercise program or something like that. And it's another thing when you take that step forward and realize that the center's here because we make these efforts to raise money and keep the doors open.
Right, yeah, exactly. And I think that's a lovely segue, actually, to talk about the new membership rates that you have specifically challenged us to put in place as you retire.
My last will and testament to Frank.
Exactly. Well, so, June is our last month of the fiscal year.
Right.
And so we always look at where are we in terms of things. And over the last few years, we've been challenged to increase the membership rate. especially by people that are taxpayers that are helping us. They say
Sure.
you could charge more than $25 a year. You could charge more than $35 a year. Why aren't you charging $75 a year?
Yeah.
Whatever. And so our rates have crept up a little bit, little bit.
$5 here, $10 there.
To where right now it's $40 for a Brunswick resident and $50 if you live outside of Brunswick.
Sure.
And what we've seen is a decrease in membership.
Sure.
Not the number of people per se, but the income has decreased. Whereas you used to have like 2 people in a family, like both the husband and wife, even if he didn't come that often, he'd still be a member.
Yeah.
Now we just see the wife, or vice versa. Like only he comes and she's like, I don't need, so they used to both register and now just one does, or that sort of thing. And so, I went to Frank and said, what do you think? You're the membership guru. You've been doing this for 17 years. And Frank always...
There was no membership fee when I started.
When you started, yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I started 8 years ago, it was $25
Yeah.
to be a member. And it was that way for quite a long time.
Yeah.
And it's only gone up $15 to $40.
Sure.
But it's enough of an increase, I guess. And every year, you've been telling me, you cannot raise the membership rates. People aren't going to pay it. They're not going to want to pay it.
Well,
and so what do you think?
I think it's a psychological thing. And I just think that we do have other ways of raising money, and we do it very well. And I just like to see that number stay low enough so that it's never an issue with anyone. We're a member organization, and that's where I always put my exclamation point.
No, exactly.
And
so we have said, all right, Frank, we're gonna do what you tell us.
Yeah. One time.
And
17 years, I finally get my way.
We don't want to call it like, your dying, like your last meal, your dying request, but it's a parting request.
Yeah, but so starting next year, folks, if you're from Brunswick, your dues are going to be $35.
30.
30.
30.
Oh, see?
There you go. Dropping them to 30.
$30 from Brunswick and $35 from any other member town.
Harpswell, Bath, anywhere else. Yeah. Which is a fairly significant drop from 50 to 35.
It is.
And 40 to 30.
Yeah. So we're doing away with the couple membership because it actually adds up to the same thing.
Right.
And
it's cheaper actually now for 2 people to get a $30 membership versus before it was a couple for 70. Yeah, it's only 60 for both of you.
Yeah. And so we just want everybody, it used to be that there were probably 50 or 100 people every year that would come through the door and say, I've never been in this place, but I want to support you.
Right, I'll stay a member.
That happened when dues were $25 and $30, and didn't happen when they were 50
40.
and 75.
Yeah, 40 and 50.
So, this is, you got to help me out here, folks. If it doesn't happen, Stacy's you got to watch her.
No, I'll be like, I told you so. Just kidding. I never would say that.
No, I bet you wouldn't. And
we're
dues
going
are
retro.
very important, but what's more important is that we have contact with the people in the communities.
Absolutely.
And I'm one of those people that Brunswick is a wonderful place, but Brunswick is a wonderful place because it has Topsham and Bodenham and Harpswell and all those wonderful people and places around it.
Right.
And if it's going to be a community center, then it needs to engage those people from the larger community.
Absolutely. And that's really what we saw drop off.
Sure.
People aren't going to do it for $50 a year and then come to the center twice a month. They just feel like, I'll just pay for as I go. And I think, even a member of our board was saying that his mom, they live in Bath, and his mom won't join because she doesn't want to pay $50 a year. She would totally come and use the center, but it's like one time a year, $50, and the principle around it, she's like, it's too expensive, kind of thing. Yeah. So I'm hopeful that this will appeal to seniors, and I think seniors in particular.
It's a noble experiment. Well, frankly, folks, I'm just hoping it's going to work.
Yeah, I think it'll.
Where else did your cost go down?
I think it will make it more accessible.
Yeah,
definitely. So as we put in the paper, how'd you phrase it? It was very nicely done. It was basically annual fund goes up and dues going down.
Right.
So we're going retro is how I'm looking at it at People Plus, back to where it was 6 years ago. What can you possibly find that gets less expensive these days? Nothing. Right. And for more, because we do way more now. Yeah. We have more activities, more classes, more opportunities, more lectures, more meals, everything than we did 6 or 7 years ago, but the price will be less. So I do hope it encourages people who might have been dissuaded at $40 or $50 a year to come back on board for $30.
That person who's who came for the book club or came for what exercise class, and suddenly I think that's going to bring them back.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it'll be great. So it's a good idea. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you.
Thank you for having the faith that it's going to work.
Yeah, well, I don't think we're not going to lose members.
No.
Over it.
For sure.
Exactly. It's cheaper now. And hopefully we'll gain some, and we'll get people. Really, I feel like so much of it is some of the outerlying towns.
But you know what? There's still that 1,000-person base.
Right.
It's just been interesting to watch all these. Back in I remember when we started doing membership cards, but we didn't do membership fees. We wanted to get the membership up to 1,000, and the membership right now is within 100 people of 1,000.
It's like 983,
and it goes over and back, and
right,
depending on the month of the year, pretty much.
Yes.
And we've tried dues with the fiscal year, and we did it with the calendar year, and it's just but it's just, when you get right down to it, it's just a good way of staying in touch with the people.
Absolutely. So. Oh yeah, definitely. When I joined People Plus about 8 years ago, there were 465 members.
Yeah.
And that year you had the idea to start sending out renewal notices. Why don't we remind people it's time to renew their membership? Sure. And then it almost instantly doubled. Like within a year, we were at over 900. Because basically people just needed a little reminder.
Sure.
Like, oh, my membership, and they didn't want to lose their membership.
Time to write the check.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a great idea, and we've really seen membership stay, and I think it's a huge part of what we do.
It is.
Because if you include the Teen Center program, we really have over 1,200 members.
Sure.
Right now, so between seniors and youth combined, and over 200 volunteers every year with thousands of hours of volunteer service. So, and over 200 programs a month. So we really do a lot down at the center. And thanks to Frank and your ideas, we hope to see that continue to grow. So we don't want to lose some of those things when you retire, and we want to honor that and your ideas and your thoughtfulness.
It really is happening this year, folks.
That you're retiring?
Yeah,
I know.
So
it really is. So we'll talk about that more in the end of June.
Yeah.
But we have a fun June coming up.
We do. So we should talk about it.
We should. Yeah, we've got about 20 minutes left now.
Yeah.
So yeah. So some of the things we've got coming up in June, there's one that has moved around a little bit, but it's a standard. Every year, the Maine State Music Theater interns come and do a show.
That is a great show.
And it's such a fun, it's a really fun event. And I think we said we're going to do a pizza party this time.
Yep.
I'm not sure, did we tell Jill we're doing a pizza party? I don't quite remember. Anyway, so we are doing, it's called FYI, Curtains Up. And
the big point on that is it's a Friday this year.
It's Friday.
Never been a Friday.
Friday at noon.
Sure.
Yeah. So we're doing it Friday at noon, June 7th. It's the first Friday in June, so it really is coming right up. And I think we'll do a little pizza party, and we'll just put out if people want to throw in a couple bucks to donate for the pizza or something. But it's called the Brunswick to Broadway Bunch. That's what they call the interns. They're Brunswick to Broadway, and I think some of them really do go on to Broadway,
to
Broadway shows. This is like their life.
They have cases where every year where the
kids go on and keep working. Yeah. And so that's June 7th at noon. So, call and register, folks.
Coming right up.
So we know how much pizza to get. Yeah, it's actually a week from Friday.
Yeah.
So, we're in the last week of May right now recording this. So that's a big thing coming up. Before it, though, I have Women's Breakfast.
Women's Breakfast,
and Apple Club.
Oh, yeah.
So the first Thursday is Women's Breakfast is at 8:30.
That's the 6th.
Yep, June 6th. And isn't that a special date in history? Something about World War II?
Yeah, that's the 75th anniversary of D-Day on the 7th.
I know it is. Yeah, 6th and 7th. 7th, right? Yep.
7th.
And then Apple Club is at 10 a.m. on Thursday, June 6th. So if you have an Apple device of any sort, get your iPhone, your iTouch, your iPad, your laptop, anything like that, come on for Apple Club. It's at 10 a.m. and we do it the first Thursday of every month. And that's a pretty big deal.
Maybe I could do that after I retire.
Do you have an iPhone?
Not yet.
Oh.
I can get rid of my rotary dial and.
Oh, right. Yeah, because that cord never stretches very far from the house.
I've been thinking of going to a flip phone next.
Perfect. Yeah.
Don't you think?
Absolutely. I can teach you how to use that too.
Yeah. Okay.
And so we have women's breakfast on the 6th, Apple Club on the 6th, and then Friday is the summer interns.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold, so I'm getting kind of choked up.
And then living well for better health.
Yep.
You know, we in May. Oh.
Sorry, the coughing is now making me yawn.
Yeah.
God, I'm so bored.
How are you going to be able to do this without me?
I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't want to figure that out.
Anyway, just a quick word. In May, Randy was over from the hospital.
Randy Reynolds.
With the Blue Zone.
Yep.
And you know this kind of follows up on that, don't you think?
Yeah, it's Mondays. It's a program put on by Spectrum Generations. It's called Living Well for Better Health. And
so important as we age.
Yep.
That we do.
It's primarily for people with chronic diseases and symptoms.
Is, yeah. Oh,
so
that's right.
yeah, this class. So it's on Mondays. It runs June 10th through July 15th.
Yep.
On those Mondays, and
this is the second.
Yeah, the second
cycle,
series. Yep.
Yeah.
And 1:30 to 4. It's free, open to the public. So if you are someone that suffers with a chronic illness or disease, you know the symptoms of that, this is really the class for you because A, it's free, it's open to the public, and what they're trying to do is figure out how to live a better life with a chronic disease or a chronic illness, something you cannot get rid of. You know, you're just going to have to deal with it for the rest of your life. And this will help you figure out strategies and techniques and practices to put in place to have a better life when you do have a chronic illness or a chronic disease. You know, things like rheumatoid arthritis or diabetes or, you know, what have you. And so much of that is about living a healthier life, taking back control, you know, not letting the pain control you or the fatigue or whatever it is that may be, you know, the issue.
Once you start coughing and yawning, you got to...
I know. I've been on antibiotics
And Lunch
for a long
Out
time.
is the 11th. That is a good group. And you know what? Gladys asked me to put something in the paper this month that guys, men,
yeah, they're hoping for a few men.
We're welcome at this because it's typically, as are a lot of activities at the center, are dominated by women.
Right.
And so I said, well, you know, maybe I'll start going to Lunch Out. And
that would be amazing.
Probably won't, but, you know.
Well, not this month. You're still working.
Not this month. That's right.
Yeah. But they're going to the Dolphin Marina.
Yeah, they're going to the Dolphin, which is always wonderful.
Down here in Harpswell.
And it's so keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's great.
It's a good. Typically they go to a local restaurant and they get 12 or 15 or 18 people at some of these. They carpool, have a good time, and a good meal.
Right.
So
it's at 11:30, and ideally they'd love it if you'd call and sign up, so they know roughly how many people are coming.
Sure.
And they have 15 or 20 people that go out to lunch once a month.
Yeah, and they try.
And it is really fun. There's 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah.
But I think they would welcome more of them.
Yeah.
So
sure.
yeah. All right. So Medicare 101. Yeah. Have you taken that class?
I haven't actually.
Oh, you probably don't need to at this point, right? You've been signed up for a little while.
A little while.
Yeah. I don't quite need to yet either.
Yeah.
So, you know, but if you're approaching age 65, you're not quite set up yet.
It's valuable.
Or you have a parent or a neighbor or a friend or family member who needs a little help getting signed up.
I did have, I had the inside track. I used to grab if I had a question, I'd just grab the ADRC person. And it's a wonderful resource that we have through Spectrum Generations at the center.
Yep.
And if you need or want help from our ADRC, Adult Resource.
Yeah, it's Aging and Disability Resource Counselor.
Yeah,
Aging and Disability Resource Counselor.
Yeah. She's going to say, take the Medicare 101 session first.
Yep.
And your questions are probably going to be answered.
A lot of them. So so it's the second Tuesday of every month.
Yeah.
Every month. Spectrum offers this class at 12:30. And it's fantastic. Yeah, it really does answer a ton of questions about Medicare. And there are thousands of people that turn 65 every month.
Think of it.
Sorry, look at me yawning. I don't know. It's because I'm talking so much and my airflow is decreased.
A lot.
I know, but my airflow's decreased. Like I can tell I just can't breathe as well right now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us about your field trip.
All right. This one's a little bit, well, all my field trips are a little different.
They do. They vary. They're very good. Yeah.
The one that,
Nothing's the
one
same.
that pops up in, in May, we went up to Skowhegan and we visited Margaret Chase Smith's house and the high points in Skowhegan. And in June, we're going to, we're just going to wander around Brunswick.
There are a lot of hidden treasures.
And it's, it's a very, very walkable community. It's becoming more walkable community. And so I just want people to be aware of that. And we typically have the van from
Coastal
Landing every month. And this month we don't have it because they're doing a program over there. So the date that I wanted it, we couldn't have it. And so we decided to do this walking trip, and it's going to be good. We're gonna wander around town a little bit. We're gonna point at a few things. We're gonna visit a few places. We're gonna have lunch downtown.
Yeah, at Joshua's.
And at Joshua's. I wanted to do a hot dog, folks, but
Nope. Oldest restaurant on Main Street.
I remember when it was Claire's.
Oh, was it originally called that?
It was.
Yeah.
It was. So.
Nice.
As usual, you'll be bored by some of my. I have to impress you
Interesting dialogue,
with the
storytelling.
Something that I know of happened 50 years ago in this spot.
Right.
And
that'll be awesome.
So it'll be fun.
Yeah, no, I think that'll be really fun.
And we're going to walk from the falls to basically up to Park Row.
So if you're interested in going,
wear your walking shoes, bring
wear
a
your
walking
walking
stick.
shoes. Yep. Park at Park Row, down by the Pumpkin House, that area around 10.
Yeah.
You guys are going to go through Pechepska Historical Society.
Yeah, make sure the car's facing the right way or they do ticket you.
They'll ticket you, yeah. I wonder if David knows that his speaker's up on his little radio thing and we can hear people talking on his waist there. Can you hear it through our mics? So anyway, so park down there on Park Row at 10.
Yeah.
Get a tour of Pechepska Historical Society, walk down the street, see Wilbur's Chocolates, see Cool as a Moose and Art Forms.
Yeah.
I bet a lot of people don't know that they print, tens of thousands of T-shirts in the basement at Art Forms at Cool as a Moose every year on Main Street. Have lunch at Joshua's, see the salmon running, right? That's the fish.
Hasn't been a salmon in the Androscoggin for 50.
Where are you stopping by? Sorry, that wasn't about the salmon. There's no salmon. What is it that you're going to see mostly?
We'll see a bunch of alewives, I'm sure.
Alewife, okay.
That we might. You're never quite sure what you're going to see, but there is a fish ladder. A lot of people, there's people that don't know there's a fish ladder
right there at our dam.
And we're just going to step onto the green bridge and make people aware of what that whole little area does.
It's totally cute.
The mills are there, and it's just a
right.
Just a
There's a nice little spot
space.
Across the street where you can rent a little park. Yep, and stopping at Bolo's, the Candlepin Bowling place. Yep, they're expecting you. And then Main Street Suites. I mean, it's just this fun little walk around downtown and kind of get to know the place.
You will be exhausted when you're done.
Nah, you'll be well fed too. Lunch at Joshua's, which is pretty neat. Sure. So that sounds like a really fun. So if you're interested, get signed up because I think you really only want like 20 to 25 people.
Yeah, I don't want to have to yell.
Right.
And I do want.
We'll send you with a bullhorn.
I do want to talk.
Right.
I want to talk.
Yeah, you want to chit chat.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah. That's fun. So that is on what day is that? Wednesday.
That's on
the
12th.
Great. That's awesome. You know what I'm going to do on Wednesday the 12th?
I don't.
Is I'm very honored on behalf of People Plus to go receive a grant award from the Maine Women's Giving Tree.
Wow.
Yeah, so we applied for funding for them for our VTN program, the Volunteer Transportation Network, and VTN Plus to expand the care that we provide for homebound elders. And the ceremony is on that day.
Wow.
So I know you'll be getting back from your talk, and I'll be headed over to say thank you very much to some donors.
Very much.
I know, it'll be great. Okay, so then the next day, Thursday, June 13th, spring cleaning at the center.
You going to try to paint those lines?
I am assured by Jay Assel, the new
Public Works guy,
Public Works Director, that they will get to the lines in our parking lot.
Yeah.
But they are pretty faded at this point.
They are indeed.
People, every day I come in, people are straddling, sitting directly on top. There was a car this morning backed in, taking up 2 whole spots because they're just like the line is directly underneath the middle of their car. You can't see it. It's hard to park.
So every spring we
do a spring clean out.
Spring clean out.
Yep.
fill the dumpster with stuff and add new and
take stuff to Goodwill.
Do some work around the yards.
People constantly bring stuff to the People Plus Center. Sure. They'll think, oh, I'm not using these 28 pots and pans anymore. I'll take them to People Plus. They'll need them. So it's so adorable. But consequently, stuff kind of builds up a little bit.
The one that comes to mind was my friend Harry came in with a box full of recipes from his Army days.
Wow.
Every recipe that you would cook in a military situation, either the Army or the Navy, and thought I would use them for breakfast. Did read through some of them. I did use them a couple of times.
Right.
But
too funny.
You never quite know what's coming through the door.
You really don't. So anyway,
and Lunch and Connections.
We've got a build up. So if you are interested in helping us, we are looking for help. To clean up the center. Yeah.
Sure.
For the spring cleanup. We could use volunteers. It's Thursday, June 13th, 1 to 3. And there is a special treat surprise for everyone who comes. They get a little something.
Really?
Could be a Frank's buck. Who knows?
Oh.
All right. And then Lunch and Connections.
Lunch and Connections. That's going to be fun.
Yeah. Thursday, May 20th.
Yep.
All right. It says May 20th. It's June 20th. It's supposed to be June 20th.
It does, doesn't it?
June 20th at noon. So it's the third Thursday at noon. And what are you making?
We're grilling chicken. I will be grilling chicken outside like I usually do.
Great.
And we slough it through the window.
Into the kitchen.
Yep. And my replacement has been, that has been decreed.
Stephanie Peckhurst.
She came to the center as a Meals on Wheels coordinator.
Mm-hmm. She's a Harpswell resident. And she's a chef in her own right. Mm-hmm. She is probably good enough cook to replace me. Oh, we will. That's saying a lot. We'll see. She needs you to train her.
Yeah.
But anyway, she's willing to take on the gig.
It's going to be fun.
And all the ladies love her.
She is a sweetheart.
It's a good thing. She's going to stop by tomorrow, actually. Yep. So, yep. And then our Lunch and Learn is Get Active Midcoast. So Monday, June 24th.
Yeah.
All about the hikes and trails. So where to go for hiking, where to go for trailing. There's a whole new map that's interactive online, but also a printout called Get Active Midcoast. And we've got Angela Twitchell.
Sure, from the Land Trust.
Yeah, from the Brunswick Topsom Land Trust. Yep. And Celeste from Midcoast Community Health and Wellness Center. Yep. And they're going to come and they're going to debut the new trail guide. There are trails down in Harpswell. There are trails in Brunswick, Topsom, Bowdoin, Bowdenham. It's all over Bath, Georgetown, Phippstown. So it really, Phippsburg, sorry, really gives you a good sense of where to go hiking, what's accessible.
This area is just
teeming
with great word.
Wonderful hiking trails. Yeah, there's a plethora. So this is a lovely presentation. It's Monday, June 24th at noon. It's our Lunch and Learn. So bring a sandwich and whatnot. We'll provide the cookies and take home a map. Absolutely, yeah. And then what else we got? Just a few other things to kind of get on your radar. We've got a Colette trip. They're tiptoeing through the tulips. We've already had 8 people sign up for that. It's a river cruise. Yeah. So yeah, if you're interested in doing that in spring of 2020, you should call the center because Jill is definitely those spots are filling up. We've got some open seats in the Thursday art class with Connie. Maybe you could take that up. Can you draw?
Of course I can draw.
Oh, I can't. So
I paint houses.
And there you go. And then men's breakfast, Thursday, June 27th. Look at that, at 8 a.m. I'll be out of town.
Will you?
I will, actually. Yeah, I'll be on the Freedom Tour with my daughter.
Oh, boy.
So I'm gone.
I'd rather be on the Freedom Tour.
Than do men's breakfast? I think it'll be fun, actually. Yeah.
We sold the last one as my last one, but
But not quite.
They need to come see who's cooking.
Right. Yeah. So hopefully we'll have someone.
See what's cooking.
Someone lined up to help you at that point. If not, I'll take over cooking for men's breakfast. We'll see how that goes. Maybe. If they'll let me.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we would like a guy to do it, though.
Yeah.
It's much more of a thing. And then we just have a couple of notes for July. A big event in July is on July 18th.
Yeah.
So it is the community picnic. We do it every year, the third Thursday, at Thomas Point Beach. And we normally have Frank and his brother Grant, and they're grilling hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff.
And Ralph.
And Ralph Laughlin and Gladys and her lunch gang. But what we're doing this year is a little different. We're going to have this be Frank's official retirement party open to the community. So we hope you'll join us on July 18th. Definitely need to register at the center. And we're going to meet at Thomas Point Beach around 11:30. We're going to do pulled pork and hot dogs and still have a good old time. We have Off Their Rockers.
speaking of pulling, I'll bring my sulky.
Bring your sulky.
And
all right.
Stacy will pull us all around the circle now.
And I'll try not to boohoo and cry the whole time.
It's going to be a good time.
But this isn't quite our last show, so at this point I think we can just say see you next month.
Stay tuned.
Right, on People Plus. Thanks for joining us here today.
You bet.
We do look forward to seeing you next month, and Frank will still be here. Yay! Take care, folks. Thanks.